Hello, Cryptowisers. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Milton, and I will be your captain for this episode. Guys, today is the day even the New York Times is saying it. It is a landmark moment for cryptocurrency. The Coinbase IPO day is upon us. So happy Coinbase IPO day to you all. We'll talk a little bit about that, but today's episode is actually going to focus on two of my very favorite cryptocurrency projects, ThorChain and Elrond Network. ThorChain launched their mainnet yesterday. Obviously, huge news that we need to talk about. And Elrond Network has so many things coming up, but big news later this week. So we got to touch on that as well. You know what to do, Cryptowisers. Buckle up, because this is going to be another exciting episode of Cryptowise. Well, today is the day. Coinbase is officially a publicly traded company now. It's been huge news in the traditional finance market. So New York Times, as they say, Coinbase, the cryptocurrency exchange, is set to begin trading on the NASDAQ on Wednesday, today. I believe it launched at a $250 per stock, which put them at a $65 billion market cap valuation on launch. And this is the Coinbase USD chart for FTX. As we can see right now, it's sitting at $481. So we got all the way up to about 643. Then it crashed down, but looks like it's bouncing hard off of 430 up to 483. So what does this mean for crypto? Well, only time will tell, really. But we had some really nice bounces in the market last night. Bit of a flash crash earlier today, but things have stabilized and it looks like there's going to be a very nice bounce off of this news. We got Bitcoin near all-time highs, if not all-time highs. Then we got Ethereum, same thing. A lot of the kind of top coins are doing very well right now. And I believe at the valuation that it is right now, Coinbase, the coin stock, if you put it into the crypto market, would be the third biggest market cap right now. So it'd be sitting just behind Ethereum, ahead of Binance Coin, which is very interesting for us to now have this kind of real traditional world valuation of a crypto asset. Actually makes me think that a lot of these protocols, the major protocols like Polkadot and Cardano, even Ethereum, are very undervalued. If you're putting Coinbase number 3, I gotta think that some of these other things, if not right now, in the near future, will have way more value. But we'll see where Coinbase lands. Could land much higher, could land much lower. We shall see. But that is a very good segue for me to talk about major coins in crypto. Because today I'm going to be talking about two of them, two of my favorite, Elrond Network and ThorChain, both large cap coins. And on the channel, I know we talk a lot about the hidden gems. We go deep into altcoin forests on this channel. And of course we do, because it's fun. That's what's great about crypto, is there's new projects entering the space every day. Some of them are going to hit, and you're going to be able to get a lot of return on a lot of them. But guys, I really hope that you're keeping in mind that you need to have exposure to some of the bigger coins as well. I hope you're not just putting all your money into the smaller cap coins. Because when Marvin and I talk about the small caps, we're talking about maybe 5 to maybe 10% of our full portfolio at any given time. Sometimes we'll go big on a new coin if we really believe in it, but usually we will scale out of that so that those kind of high risk coins are just 5% of our portfolio usually. The bulk of my portfolio is Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then I have huge bags of DOT and other large coins, including Elrond and including ThorChain. And I know that it looks like maybe these coins are too big, they've pumped too much, but if this is a bull cycle, there is still huge gains to be made in these major coins, and these are the ones that are most likely to stick around for the long run. Yes, one out of a bunch of the small coins might hit for you. You might get 100x, maybe 1000x. Those are amazing if you can do those. But I hope you're also giving yourself exposure to these top coins. All right, the first project we have to talk about is ThorChain. the Rune token because they have finally launched their mainnet. This is huge news in cryptocurrency, and we got to talk about it. So if you've been watching the channel for a long time, you'll know that ThorChain was one of the first projects that I covered. This is going back 4 months now. It's this video here. Is this the god of altcoins? That is my original deep dive into ThorChain. At the time, the Rune token was sitting in at around $1. And then I made this follow-up video, how to use BepSwap. Now, BepSwap was the test DEX of ThorChain. And this is BepSwap here. So BepSwap will no longer be working. They're going to keep it up for another few weeks or so to allow people to take their liquidity out. But this was the test net for the actual ThorChain mainnet. And back then, about 4 months ago, I thought, you know what? I'll give it a try. I'm really interested in ThorChain, what they're building. So let me try BepSwap. What a great decision that ended up being. I put in some liquidity into the BNB here. And at that time, BNB was, I'm not sure, sitting around $30 maybe. And what happened with BepSwap is I put some BNB and it automatically turned half of my liquidity into Rune. And I did the same thing with the swing buy pool. So I entered the swing buy pool and half again got turned into Rune. So I didn't actually go out and buy any Rune, but half my BNB and half my swing buy at the time were turned into Rune. And then I was accumulating more Rune by being a liquidity provider for a few months here in BepSwap. And I got to say, I only put a couple $100 into the liquidity and it's worth a lot more now. Because if we see, it's done a 15x since I did that. So let's look at this chart. Let's look at the max chart of ThorChain here. This is incredible. And I was not an early adopter, maybe an early adopter of being a liquidity provider of BepSwap because I am someone who likes to try things out and actually do things when I hear about them. And I have to say that's been a really good strategy for me, which isn't really a strategy. I just really like using the platforms that I invest in. But I'm not sure I would have bought Rune at the time, but I wanted to use BepSwap. I wanted to try it out and I ended up getting a bunch of Rune and that ended up being a really great decision. So as we can see, this has just been pumping huge in anticipation of this mainnet launch. In the last 14 days, it went from $8 and now we're over $15. We're at all-time highs here for ThorChain, so we're in price discovery. Now that the mainnet is out there, very curious to see how high this can go. And like most other projects, what we didn't see with ThorChain, which is amazing, is the mainnet dump. The kind of buy the rumor, sell the news. That did not happen. We saw a little couple dips over the last 24 hours, but this has been pretty much straight up from over $12 to over $15. Look at the volume down here has been huge. So guys, this is what I am saying about having exposure to larger coins. Because even 4 months ago, okay, Rune had gone from basically nothing to $1, right? So this is the 1 year here. Okay, it had pumped from 40 cents up to about $1 when I made that video. And that back then seemed like a risk. Like ThorChain was still a big project back then. So at $1 here, it felt like, you know, how much more room does this have to grow? And then you can see in crypto, if you have a good project, okay, it can definitely go. A big cap can still do huge multiples. I mean, we saw that with BNB recently. BNB was a huge cap at $40. It was a top 10 project. And now we saw it hit over $600. So I just want to make sure you guys have exposure to whatever your favorite big cap coins are. Doesn't have to be the ones that I'm telling you about. Could be your own. Maybe you're not into DOT like I am. Maybe you're into Cardano. But have some exposure and make sure you got some Bitcoin and Ethereum at the very least. All right, so let's talk a little bit about why ThorChain is so important. Essentially, it is the very first DEX where you can swap cross-chain natively. And obviously, the biggest reason to do this is so that you can swap Bitcoin for Ethereum or other chains directly. So you don't have to get wrapped Bitcoin. You don't have to get a synthetic version of something. You can actually trade Bitcoin for Ethereum or any other cross-chain asset. That is huge. That is a huge advancement in technology. All right, I'm not going to do a full deep dive into ThorChain today, but if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'll do a follow-up of how to use ThorChain. But this is the site here. This is the Thor swap, though this is where you would come to swap your BNB, for example, for Bitcoin. And as you can see underneath, it tells you what kind of token it is. So the BNB is the BEP2 token. Then you've got BTC, which is the native token of Bitcoin. So I don't have a wallet connected here, but you can just put in some numbers and kind of see what the slippage would be and what the fees would be. So your fees are actually dynamic fees based on what your slippage would be. So as you can see, the slippage here would be 54%, which would be insane. And then the fee goes up accordingly. So I actually haven't used the swap or added any liquidity into ThorChain yet, because right now you have to create a native wallet for ThorChain. And I'm just going to wait for them to get to the point where they have Wallet Connect here, and I can just use either MetaMask or Trust Wallet, whatever they add. On BepSwap, I was using my Trust Wallet, so I think that that will probably be one of the first wallets that they incorporate here on the mainnet when they can. Also, as you can see up here, it does say that this is still a beta version. So I'm going to wait for them to get some of the bugs out, allow the chain to prove itself, but I'll definitely be adding liquidity and using this. So in terms of adding liquidity, this is what it looks like here, very much same interface. But remember on BepSwap, I told you that when I put in BNB, it turned half of it into Rune automatically. Here on the mainnet, now you have a choice. So you can add, in this case, BUSD, or you can add BUSD and Rune, or just Rune. So that's pretty amazing that you have the choice. You can add one of the assets, you can add both Rune and BUSD, and all the pools are both Rune and the other token. So this is the information here. Total volume already since launch is over $25 million, which is amazing. But as you can see, they're kind of starting slow. They're going to test it out and then scale up from here. We've got over 3 million in BTC, over 2 million in ETH. They also have USDT, Sushi, BNB, BUSD, BCH, and then Litecoin. So these are the assets that they're starting with, and obviously they'll grow out from there. But the cool thing here, the very revolutionary thing, as I said, is you can trade Bitcoin straight for any of these assets now. So you could do Bitcoin for USDT, Bitcoin for BUSD or BNB or ETH, and you don't have to wrap anything. It's one-for-one cross-chain swapping. It is a huge, huge advancement in crypto. So a very well-deserved pump for ThorChain, and we'll see where this goes. In my opinion, I think we'll see a pullback at some point. You know, anytime you see a parabolic move here. So basically from the end of March, we went from $5, already a 3x in about less than a month. So I imagine some pullback at some point for ThorChain, but I've got my bag from when I was in BepSwap. I'm going to be adding liquidity and kind of building my Rune position, doing it that way. So even though I won't do a deep dive here, if you are interested, ThorChain is an amazing project to be able to do your own research in. I would start here, Multicoin Capital. So multicoin.capital, they are a big investor in Rune. They are an investment firm. Now they did a full report on their analysis of why they invested in Rune and ThorChain. So you could come here to their site, multicoin.capital, read full report, and it's here. I highly recommend that. Another thing I highly recommend is they did a Clubhouse chat last night for the mainnet launch. An amazing discussion here. Lots of great information. So that is also a great place to go for very up-to-date information on the mainnet and the history of ThorChain. It was built on the Cosmos chain, so they forked the Cosmos technology to build ThorChain. That was very interesting as why they chose Cosmos. And when I made my first video on ThorChain, it was a fully anonymous team. But since then, some of the team members have come out. So this is Chad Barraford. He was one of the lead techs building the mainnet, and he revealed on that discussion in Clubhouse that there are actually 12 different teams working on different various parts of ThorChain. So this is a huge, huge team. And now that the mainnet is launched, I'm sure more of them are going to come out and reveal themselves to be part of the team. So Chad, definitely recommend following him on Twitter at @CBarraford. But I am stoked that this main chain is out, that ThorSwap is out there. This is the new standard in decentralized exchanges, but they're going to have more and more competition. So not only should you be looking at ThorChain, but I talk a lot about different dexes on this channel, and there are a lot of new ones that I have invested in, ones I've got my eyes on that are coming out soon, because I think this is going to be an area that just gets revolutionized over and over again. The technology is moving so quickly. As we know, we got Uniswap version 3 coming out. We got PokeSwap coming out. Lots of very exciting things, but ThorChain right now is the leader of the pack in terms of technology, in my opinion, just by solving the how do you swap Bitcoin for other assets from other chains natively without having to wrap them. Well, ThorChain figured it out. And for that, they have now a $3.5 billion market cap. They're number 45 and climbing fast. I would not be surprised to see this in the top 20 very soon. All right, guys, before we move on and talk about all the amazing, exciting things happening with Elrond Network, you got to do old Milty a few favors. 1, smash the like button if you like this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the video and make sure you've hit that notification bell. 2, if you're on Telegram, join our Telegram group, Cryptowise Official. The link to join our Telegram is in the description of this video. And 3, if you're on Twitter, follow us there at Cryptowise, guys. Our old account got suspended, so we had to create this new one. So if you haven't already followed our new account, please do so now. All right, that's all you had to do. See how easy that was? Very much appreciated. Okay, now let's talk Elrond. Okay, this is a beautiful blue chip project. I love this project so much. And again, like ThorChain, this was one of the projects I talked about very early on our channel. Even before ThorChain, one video before, 5 months ago, I talked about Elrond, how it had massive potential. It's this video here. I believe at the time of that video, Elrond was sitting in at around $7. And now, well, it's sitting at $230. So yeah, Elrond has done very, very nicely for us. It is the number 39 ranked crypto, and I still think this has top 10 potential. They are going for the masses. This is a blockchain project, full blockchain project with tunnel vision to bring crypto to the masses. They have a goal that they talk about over and over and over again, which is to bring crypto to the next billion people. In this case, DeFi for the next billion people. They want to onboard 1 billion people into crypto, into the Elrond network, and these guys move fast. So let's talk about that first bump that happened. So I made my video in and around here at about $7-ish. This huge pump, the first pump up to 200, this was their 100 days of hyper growth, all leading up to the launch of their Maiar app. And if you have not downloaded the Maiar app yet or don't know what I'm talking about, I have a video on it. Okay, this was about 2 months ago. This one here, Elrond's Maiar, is here. And also in the description of this video, I have a link to my referral code for Maiar. So if you're going to download Maiar, I appreciate it if you use that link. I think you probably get a couple of bucks of free crypto or something for it. I'm not sure, but I just like keeping track of how many people I am bringing to the Elrond universe. But if you don't have the app yet, I highly recommend it. It's a very cool, user-friendly app, and they've just added staking onto the app. So you can now stake your Elrond directly on Maiar. But that's what this was. And then we saw a big pullback. So it went back down to just over $100. So almost a 50% pullback here. And it was just quiet. You know, we went back up to 159, but then back down. And it's kind of been in this range until recently. And now we saw it go from 120 and now we're up towards the all-time highs. So the all-time high is 243. Right now we're sitting at 230. But I feel like Elrond is preparing for its next move up. Like I said, I think this is a top 10 potential project. Right now, the market cap is $4 billion. So to get into the top 10, we would need a market cap of about $17 billion, according to the market caps today. So that's another 4x-ish. And if the market caps keep going up. So I definitely think this is top 20. I think top 10 potential. The team is just way too laser focused. I honestly have not seen a team work this hard and this quickly. So let me tell you about the exciting news. This they announced last week. So they are going to be launching their own DEX, the Maiar Exchange, and they're going to be coming out with another token. So their exchange token. And it's going to be a fair launch for the Elrond community. So if you own Elrond, the Egld token right now, you will be getting this new Maiar Exchange token, which is the MEX token. So again, for the sake of brevity, because this video has already gone long, I won't do a full deep dive, but I just wanted to let you guys know about this. So they are launching the Maiar Exchange, which will be the ultimate automated market maker that are going to offer global, near instant, inexpensive transactions between an expanding suite of assets. And once live, the Maiar Exchange will be integrated into the Maiar app. If you download that app, eventually the exchange will be right on that app. You can just do exchanges right from your app. So the token will be essential for the sustainable development of the Maiar Exchange and its governance. The governance process itself will kick off around 3 to 6 months after the platform's launch. So the Maiar Exchange will feature the very first token of the Elrond ecosystem with a fair launch, 100% distributed and owned by the community. And that's what this countdown here is about on the Maiar Exchange page, Maiar.exchange. 4 days, 16-hour countdown. And in 4 days, they're going to start taking snapshots of Egld holders. And that's how they're going to determine if you're going to get any MEX tokens or not. 47.5% of the token supply will be claimed by Egld holders in the first year. 44.95% of the token supply will be earned by liquidity providers during the next 10 years. 2.55% of the token supply will be distributed to members of select DeFi communities, 50% Uni, 25% Sushi, and 25% Cake. And then 5% of the tokens will be put in a security fund serving as proactive insurance against critical bugs or security hacks. So the snapshot conversion ratio will be nonlinear. Specifically, MEX will be claimable pro rata based on the following formula. So if you have Egld in an Egld wallet or on the Maiar app, you will get the 0.95 ratio. If you have liquidity in Uni, you will get 0.8 ratio. If you have Elrond liquidity on Sushi, 0.8. And again, if you have liquidity on Cake right now, PancakeSwap, 0.8 ratio. So Egld holders, weekly distribution based on daily random snapshots for 1 year. So over the course of 1 year, every day they're going to take a random snapshot, could be any time of the day, and then they will calculate that over a week, and then every week you will get your distribution of MEX tokens. Then Egld holders that are using Maiar and that have at least 1 Egld and at least 5 Maiar referrals, they will get a bonus multiplier. So their bonus multiplier is 1.25. So the first version, you just get the one-time multiplier. Then if you add the fact that you're using Maiar and that you have 5 referrals, then you get the 1.25 multiplier. And thirdly, if you are an Egld staker, which I am, you will get weekly distribution based on daily random snapshots again, but you will get a 1.5 time multiplier. If you are staking your Egld, you will get more MEX tokens than if you just hold Egld. All right, and then very important, not eligible for MEX distribution is any Egld tokens that are vested right now, tokens that are held on exchanges. So this is important because I know Binance has the Egld token. A lot of exchanges do. If you have Egld right now on Binance or another exchange, I highly recommend you download Maiar, send them to Maiar, or get yourself an Elrond wallet, which you can do on your desktop. Any unclaimed staking rewards. So if you are staking, make sure you claim those rewards before the snapshots happen. And then also the old ERD tokens, which was the original token for Elrond. Those are also not eligible. And then here's the 10-year vesting for the liquidity providers and lots more info. I will definitely do a follow-up full video on the Maiar Exchange when it launches, but wanted to make sure that you guys knew about this. Okay, another reason to have Egld if you don't already. Such an amazing project. Definitely one of my best calls of the year getting into Egld. I got in last summer, was accumulating through the fall, and it has been a really great play for me. But I just really believe in this project long term. So I am staking, hodling, really excited to get the MEX tokens and see what their DEX is going to be like. So again, you got 4 days to accumulate your Egld before snapshots will happen. But again, they're happening throughout the year. So if you want to wait for a dip, by all means, any time during this year, if you have Egld or stake Egld or provide liquidity for Egld, you will get some MEX tokens. And if that wasn't reason enough to buy Egld, well, hot off the presses 1 hour ago now, CEO Benjamin Minku of Elrond Network tweeted this: "It's time for Maiar Launchpad." That's right, they're launching their own Launchpad now. Powered by the MPAD token, claimable by Egld holders. Tokenizing widespread and fair access, the MPAD token, the Maiar Launchpad is the ultimate catalyst for blockchain adoption. To ensure that anyone anywhere has fair and widespread access to important technologies and startups coming on to Elrond. The Maiar Launchpad will be fueled by the MPAD token. The MPAD token will be the second Elrond ecosystem. Obviously, the MEX token is the first one. That's the one we just talked about, bringing some of the most ambitious blockchain projects to the world and to the Elrond ecosystem and community. Through a wide distribution model, all Egld holders will be able to claim a fair share of its supply, and that distribution will be shared in the next 2 weeks. I imagine it will be very similar to the MEX token. More reason to buy Egld. I might have to buy myself some more Egld now. Definitely enjoyed buying it at $7 more than $223, but I want myself some MPAD tokens and some MEX tokens, as much as I can get a hold of. Well, that is what we call a jam-packed video here on Cryptowise. So much huge news coming out of the crypto world this week. I'll be very, very curious to see where the Coinbase token lands in terms of price. Obviously, way less volatility usually in the mainstream stock market. So I'll be very curious after the hype wears off, where does that coin stock land? Market cap wise. And if you Cryptowisers have been making some big gains over the last few months in your small caps, not a bad idea to take some profit, put them in some of the larger cap coins. And I definitely recommend Elrond and ThorChain as 2 possibilities. But as always, Cryptowise is not financial advice. I repeat, Cryptowise, it's not financial advice. We're just a couple wise guys talking crypto. Thanks again for watching this video. Until next time, my name is Milton, saying over and out.